I think certainly, like probably many people, I grew up with a lot of stories being told at home. We Zimbabwe is quite cold in the winter time, so we would often sit actually by the fire, even though we lived in one of the leafy, formerly white suburbs of Harare. And we would listen to my grandfather telling stories. There is a character, or two characters who come up in a lot of stories, Tsuro, a rabbit, and Budo, the baboon. And so there were stories of how they would trick each other into, showing off to the women in the city. And I always loved that particular story. But also we sang a lot in our house. Both of my parents were very devout Methodists, and so we sang a lot of hymns, and we would harmonize together. And so I think that kind of a metrical structure was something that kind of sank into my brain somewhere. And we'd also sing, children's songs like "The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round." So those are things that have, again, that sense of rhythm and meter to them that were very attached to happy moments of my childhood. And then I also, I was in school, I went to an Anglican primary school that had speech and drama as one of the things that we did in school. We had to recite prayers, etc. So there were a lot of these kind of choral recitations of verse, a lot of it very much in kind of British, probably late 19th, early 20th century kind of ethos, right? And I did O-level English literature as well. So definitely I had a lot of exposure to poetry and to reading, but also to hearing a lot of making literature, oral literature, right? Both from a Shona archive of stories, but more so actually from kind of British archive as well. And I think, I can remember making up stories, particularly on long trips. We would take a road trip to visit my brother when he was in boarding school. I have one memory of making up some story about wattle trees, which we learned about in our science classes, what matches were made out of. And I don't know why. I will feel funny about this having been the thing that I go on record as talking about as the roots of writing. But, just seeing so many of these wattle trees as we were driving past them, to tell a story about them was just a way to pass the time, So, a long time ago, before there were cell phones and various other things that you could play with by yourself, we would tell stories out loud.